It's funny. It seems like AI is everywhere these days. You see it in like smartwatches that track your sleep or ads that seem to know what you want. Even my music app is like reading my mind. But sometimes it feels like, is this all just hype? So that's what we're looking at today in this deep dive into AI hype versus reality. We'll try to figure out what AI is really doing. Like, is it actually revolutionary or is it just a bunch of marketing buzz?
Yeah.
You ever get that feeling where you realize something isn't quite as amazing as you thought it was? Like that new gadget everyone's talking about? Well, the Gartner hype cycle. Think of it like a reality check for new tech. And AI might be in what they call the trough of disillusionment right now, but that doesn't mean AI is useless.
Right. It's kind of like, when everyone's going crazy over the latest thing and then it doesn't really live up to the hype. But it doesn't mean it's worthless. We just need to be realistic about what to expect.
Exactly. So let's get into it. The source material talks about two main types of AI. Generative AI, that's the one that creates things, and predictive AI, that's the analytical one. So what kind of impact are they having? Like, what are some real-world examples?
Generative AI, that's like the stuff that makes those AI art pieces everyone's sharing online. But think bigger. This is stuff that could change creative industries completely. Imagine entire movie scripts written by AI, or personalized music made just for you. And then you have predictive AI, which is all about forecasting. Like in healthcare, it can look at data and predict outbreaks or even help doctors diagnose patients faster.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So it's not just recommending me products online. This is stuff that can actually save lives. But wait, how does it predict outbreaks? Is it like a crystal ball for viruses?
Not exactly a crystal ball, but it's pretty close, basically. It goes through mountains of data, like patient records, environmental factors, even social media trends, looking for patterns that we might miss. And that helps, officials to get resources where they're needed and potentially stop outbreaks before they spread.
That's incredible. And the source said it can even help doctors diagnose patients.
Right.
Does that mean AI is going to replace doctors soon?
Not replace, more like augment.
Right.
Imagine AI analyzing your symptoms, medical history, even your genes, and giving your doctor a much clearer picture. That could mean earlier diagnoses, personalized treatments, maybe even cures for diseases we haven't been able to figure out yet.
Okay. That makes me feel a little better about the future of healthcare. But the source also mentioned that predictive and generative AI could be a game changer when they're combined, especially for businesses.
Yeah.
How so?
Well, think about those generic customer service bots. How frustrating it is to deal with them. Now imagine, what if predictive AI could anticipate what you need based on like your browsing history and past interactions? And then generative AI could create a personalized response that actually feels like you're talking to a person.
That's brilliant. I can see how that would be huge. And speaking of efficiency, the source talked about something called intelligent automation. How AI can free us from tedious tasks. That's more than just robots doing our work right.
Right. Intelligent automation, or IA. It's about automating entire processes so everything runs smoothly, like financial audits. AI can look at huge amounts of data and find anything unusual, making audits much faster and more accurate.
So instead of replacing auditors, AI is like their superpowered sidekick.
Exactly. And think about what that means for you. More accurate audits could mean lower costs for consumers and more trustworthy financial institutions.
That makes sense. It seems like IA could have a similar impact in other areas too.
Oh, absolutely. Take insurance claims, for example.
Yeah.
AI could potentially process them automatically, speeding things up for everyone. Or in manufacturing, AI can monitor equipment and predict failures before they happen.
So it's like having an AI mechanic on call 24/7, making sure everything runs smoothly.
Exactly. And what's really interesting is this real-time monitoring. It's not just about efficiency. It also has implications for safety and sustainability. By optimizing how machines perform, AI can actually reduce waste and resource consumption, which is good for business and the environment.
That's a side of AI I hadn't really considered before. It's not just about speed and convenience. It's about doing things better.
Right. It's about using AI strategically to create a better future for everyone.
Speaking of the future, the source had this interesting example, Danica Pensions. It seems like they're really integrating AI into their team. They said something like 80% of their employees have AI colleagues helping them out. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it really shows that the future of work, it's not about AI replacing us. It's about humans and AI working together effectively.
So it's more of a collaboration where AI handles the repetitive tasks or things that need a lot of data processing, and that frees up humans to focus on creativity, critical thinking, all those things that make us human.
Exactly. And it's important to remember, this isn't going to happen overnight. It's going to take planning and investment in training. and a willingness to adapt.
So it's a gradual evolution, not a sudden robot takeover. That's good to hear. But it sounds like there's a lot to think about here.
There is. And we're just getting started.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to continue our deep dive into AI, hype versus reality. So we're back, and I'm still thinking about all the ways AI could be changing things. But like the source material, AI, hype versus reality said, it's about using AI in a smart way, not just jumping on the bandwagon.
Right. So buying the latest phone just because it has a new camera, you need to think about, will this actually make my life better? Or am I just getting caught up in the hype?
That's a great way to put it. It is easy to get caught up in all the excitement, especially with something as potentially groundbreaking as AI. So how do we avoid falling into that trap?
Yeah, I think it's about being informed and, discerning.
Yes.
We have to look beyond the marketing and think critically about the potential benefits and drawbacks for every situation.
Yeah. So instead of asking, can AI do this? We should be asking, should AI do this? And if so, how? It's about being intentional and responsible.
Exactly.
Which brings us back to the big question. Is AI all hype?
Right.
We've seen what it can potentially do, but is it really all it's cracked up to be?
Well, based on what we've discussed from AI hype versus reality, I think it's safe to say that AI is more than just a fad. There's real potential there to transform industries.
But it's not a magic solution either. It's a powerful tool. But we need to use it carefully and thoughtfully.
Exactly. And that's where humans come in.
Yeah.
AI can analyze data, make predictions, automate tasks. But it's up to us to decide what the goals are, set the parameters, and make sure AI is used ethically and effectively.
So it's a partnership, not a takeover. We need to figure out how to work with AI.
Right. And that requires a change in how we think. We need to be open to lifelong learning, develop new skills, and be willing to work with AI in ways we might not have thought of before.
It sounds like the future of work is going to be much more dynamic, more collaborative. But what does that actually mean for someone listening right now? How can they prepare for this AI-powered future?
That's a good question. And the answer depends a lot on their specific field and interest. But in general, I would say, stay curious about AI. Explore how it could be used in your work or life. And think about how you can adapt your skills to thrive in this changing landscape.
So, don't be afraid of AI. Be curious. Learn about it. See how it can be a tool for positive change.
Exactly. Knowledge is power. And that's especially true when it comes to AI.
We've talked a lot about the good things AI can do. But AI hype versus reality also mentioned the importance of responsible AI development. What are some of the risks or challenges we need to be aware of?
One of the biggest concerns is bias. If the data used to train AI is biased, then the results will be biased too. And that can lead to unfair outcomes, especially in areas like hiring, lending, or the justice system.
So it's like garbage in, garbage out. It shows how important it is to use diverse and representative data to train AI.
Absolutely. We also need to think about the impact on jobs. AI can create new jobs, but it can also automate existing ones, which could mean some people lose their jobs.
That's a valid concern. How do we make sure the benefits of AI are shared and that people who might be negatively affected are supported?
It's a complicated issue, and there's no easy answer. We need to invest in education and retraining to help people adapt. And we need to consider policies like universal basic income or job sharing to make sure everyone has opportunities.
So it's not just about developing the technology. It's about creating a society that's ready for the changes AI will bring.
Right. It's a big responsibility.
It is.
But it's also an incredible opportunity to shape a future where AI is used for good, and everyone benefits.
Which brings us back to something you mentioned earlier, human oversight and ethical considerations. How do we make sure AI is used responsibly and that it aligns with our values?
Well, it starts with open and honest conversations about the potential impact of AI. We need to involve everyone, technologists, policymakers, ethicists, social scientists, to develop guidelines and regulations that promote responsible AI development.
So it's not just about the code, it's about the conversation. It's about making sure AI reflects our values as a society.
Exactly. And it's a conversation that needs to continue as AI technology keeps advancing.
That makes sense. It's a constantly changing field.
Yeah.
And we need to be adaptable in how we approach it.
And it's a journey we're all on together. The future of AI isn't set in stone. It's something we're actively shaping through the choices we make.
So instead of being afraid of the unknown, we should be excited about the possibility of creating a better future. A future where AI helps us solve problems, improve lives.
That's a great way to put it. The future of AI is full of potential. And it's our responsibility to make sure that potential is used for good.
This has been a really interesting discussion. It feels like we've just scratched the surface,
We have,
but we've covered a lot of ground today.
definitely. And I hope it's given our listener a better understanding of AI, beyond just the hype.
Absolutely. But before we wrap up, I have one last question for you. If you could give our listener one piece of advice about AI, what would it be?
Hmm. I would say, don't be afraid to ask questions. Challenge assumptions. Seek out different perspectives. The more we understand AI, the better we'll be able to shape its future for the benefit of everyone.
That's great advice. Curiosity and critical thinking are so important.
And remember, the conversation about AI is just getting started. We all need to be a part of it.
Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up our deep dive into AI, hype versus reality. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the fascinating world of AI. Until next time, stay curious.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the big picture with AI, but I'm wondering, how does someone listening figure out where AI fits into their own life?
Well, it's about finding those places where AI can make what you're already doing even better, or even open up new possibilities you hadn't thought of. Think about, are you spending hours on something that could be automated? Are there decisions you're making that could be improved with AI insights?
So it's like, instead of being intimidated by AI, you should think of it as a partner. Like, say I'm a graphic designer. Maybe I could use AI tools to help with editing or generate ideas.
Exactly. Or if you're in marketing, you could look at platforms that use AI to analyze customer data and create personalized campaigns. It's about using AI to boost your skills, make you even better at what you already do. Right. But the source material, AI hype versus reality, they were pretty upfront about the potential downsides too, like how AI could lead to job losses. So how do we prepare for that kind of shift in the workforce?
Well, it's not about waiting for it to happen. It's about actively getting ready. Invest in learning new skills, especially those that work well with AI. Things like critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, and emotional intelligence. Those are things that are hard for AI to replicate.
So we need to focus on what makes us human, not try to compete with AI. Like, AI might be able to write a report, but it can't really understand the nuances of human behavior or come up with innovative solutions to really complex problems.
Exactly. It's all about understanding where AI shines and where humans still have the advantage.
I think this deep dive has really shown us how important that partnership between humans and AI is. It's not about one replacing the other. It's about finding that balance.
Right. That's the key takeaway here. AI is a powerful tool, but it's not a magic solution. It's up to us to use it wisely, ethically, and in a way that benefits everyone. We need to be proactive, not reactive, in shaping the future of AI.
So to our listener, I hope this has inspired you to think about AI in a new way. It's more than just hype. It's something that's changing our world in a big way.
And as AI keeps evolving, it's up to all of us to stay informed, engaged, and curious. The future of AI is in our hands.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into AI hype versus reality. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, stay curious.